Well, I've come out on this beautiful morning and I'm going to go for hopefully a long walk around some different hills and mountains for a change, and I've decided to bring a couple of full frame cameras too. I think I've been mistaken for somebody else by my little flock of sheep. Hopefully they don't follow me all the way up the mountain. Nice ladies. Oh dear. I think I'm going to get killed by some vicious Welsh sheep. Now this outing is a little bit different than some of my previous ones where I've shot with lightweight cameras like the Panasonic G9 or the Olympus OMD Micro Four Thirds, and even the film camera. You may have seen a recent trip where I shot 99% handheld, but today I'm taking a more considered approach, slowly working for decent compositions. I'm not in a particular rush. I have all day. The weather's beautiful, so I'm going to take my time and find places to set up. I want to be able to use filters, and also with shooting with the full frame Nikon, I do need to take a bit more care. It hasn't got the same stabilisation as the Micro Four Thirds cameras. It rewards a slower approach. Well, after a couple of hours pleasant walk, I've finally come up to the point where there's something worth shooting. It's not particularly dramatic. It's a distant view of the hills with a little bit of cloud and mist still rising up there. Now, I thought initially this would work in black and white, but when I previewed it, it didn't look so good, so I'm shooting it with colour. Now, I've got the Nikon set up with a standard 24 to 85 zoom, and I'm running at about sort of 50 to 60 millimeters, so a fairly standard focal length. Now, there's no filtration required for this shot whatsoever. It's a nice muted sky, polarizer makes no difference, so just run it straight from foreground to background with the rocks in the front and the mountains in the back. As I say, it's quite subtle, but I do like that. I do like this sort of lighting. It's not dramatic. It's one of those ones which grows on you, hopefully. Well, with the improving light, I'm getting a bit of layering going on in the mountains in front of me now. So I used the preview device again, and I actually think now it could work in black and white. So I switched over to the Nikon F80 using a little angle viewfinder to make it easier to view the scene without crouching down too much. And I'm picking out some distant hills. I'm shooting at about 280 millimeters, so a really tight telephoto crop. HP5 400, yeah, bit of a grainy film, but very atmospheric. Now, if you've seen any of my earlier videos on Micro Four Thirds, you may think it a bit strange that I'm coming out and shooting with a Nikon DSLR full frame camera, because I said all along that I don't need the quality. Well, I don't. I don't need the quality of the 24 megapixel super clean sensor, but I use it for a simple reason, and a single reason. The thing is, I shoot film alongside digital. I predominantly shoot film, in medium and large formats, but I also like 35mm film and the little cameras. I love the look of black and white, particularly with the grain and the grit and the texture. Now the thing is, I've shot Nikon for over 30 years. I'm very familiar with Nikon, their lenses, the operation of the cameras, all the little nuances. I've tried Canon, tried Pentax, didn't get on with them. Perfect cameras, just not me. So I still maintain Nikon film cameras. Now I brought with me a little film camera today, the F80 or the N80, which is completely compatible with the lenses I'm using on my D610. And I get the vibration reduction as well, which is fantastic. And all the metering, all the benefits, takes the same eyepiece for viewing compositions from the standing position. So it works really well as a partnership. I've got the best of both worlds. I've got film and digital. And that's the point of this video. I shoot film and digital. I'm not a zealot. I can see the benefits, the pros and cons to each, and I shoot whatever is the most suitable and gives me the look I like. I just love photography and being outdoors, and I'm not going to take sides against one system or another. I shoot whatever I like and I enjoy being out, so spiel over. Well, so far it's been more a case of walking than taking photographs. I did partly expect that, actually, looking at the route on the map. It wasn't very photogenic in the early sections, but I'm glad to say halfway around now and it's improving. Now I have a shot where I'm looking out over the main ridge. I'm at the highest point of the walk now, but I'm looking down across a beautiful ridge towards some distant mountains and a river at the bottom of the valley that's picked out by the light. But I don't really want the sky in. I don't particularly like it because it's very, very bright, very white. I'm probably going to exclude it. However, it's going to be a panoramic crop, so I'm putting the centre of the image as my priority, and I'm having a bit of sky in there, which I might crop out later, probably will. Just in case I don't crop it out, I've put a 2-stop grad on there just to tame it a little bit. That'll give me a little bit to play with in Lightroom. Wide angle lens set to about 35mm, quite gentle, nothing dramatic. Simple, straightforward shot. Well, after much walking, many miles, I finally come to a little hamlet, a deserted old settlement. About 100 years ago I think it was abandoned, and it's making a very nice photographic scene for me. The light's not great. I mean, it will be better a bit later in the day, or if it was a bit worse, a bit cloudy, a bit moody. But I'm going to make the most of it. I think it's a colour shot initially. I think yeah, on balance, I'll move in closer for a black and white in a minute, but I'm getting this one in the portrait format. Stopped it down to about f11. Pretty easy shot. Okay, so I'm pretty much at the end of the shooting part of my day. A couple of miles walk. I don't think there's anything particularly fantastic to shoot, so probably worth doing one of those quick what's in my bag and why am I shooting with the two full frame cameras today. Let's start with the cameras. You have a film camera, a Nikon F80, which has got the 24-85 VR zoom mounted on it at the moment. Just doing some handheld shots back in the old derelict hamlet. I have the Nikon D610. A simple 24 megapixel full frame digital camera. A bit bigger, a bit heavier, very capable, certainly not the latest spec, but more than enough for my needs. I also have the big lens, the 70-300. I use that on a couple of occasions today. I don't normally use it much, but when you do need a long lens, you need a long lens, and I was out around the 300mm end, so very useful. Okay, a few little bits and pieces like extra boxes of film. Very important though when you're out for a long walk up a mountain like this. I've got the sticks. I used to ridicule people who use sticks until I got a set myself. I take it all back. They're absolutely fantastic. I slipped about a dozen times coming down the hill and I didn't land on my backside once because I had the sticks to support me. Fantastic. The rucksack is an Osprey Talon 44 litre. Big bag of water in there. I've got through most of that today. It's heavy, but it's kept me hydrated. Very comfortable. It weighs absolutely nothing, that bag. And a few dry bags. These various bags hold things like waterproof trousers, compass, map. I've got a bit of food in here still, hopefully. Got a sandwich. I've also got my banana in a banana holder, so you're bruising your banana. Filter bag, yeah, big filter bag because we're shooting with a big camera and big lenses today, so that's been a big beast to carry. And just another over trousers to keep me warm. So how's the shooting gone today compared to, say, the likes of the Micro Four Thirds? Well, I'll be honest, it's been a lot harder. Personally, I've struggled a little bit more with the camera. The D610 is not quite as easy to use as the Micro Four Thirds cameras. I've got no information through the viewfinder. It's just a plain old DSLR. Very capable camera though, very enjoyable, good quality obviously. Maybe if you're a sort of a mirrorless shooter, you'll appreciate the likes of the Sony A7. I had one, I didn't like it, I got rid of it. It just wasn't for my liking at all. The lenses were far too big for the body. The film camera's been very good today, very small, very lightweight. Again, I enjoy shooting film alongside digital. I like the grittiness of real black and white. So I'd have to say, in summary though, it's not the ideal outfit for lugging up a mountain. I am very tired today. I'm a lot more tired than I was when I went up the hills in the snow with the Panasonic G9. It's not that the camera itself is much bigger, but the lenses are a lot bigger. The filters are a lot bigger. I need a much bigger bag to carry everything. But all that extra weight, you know, you get more tired. I have got more tired today. It's been a bit of a strenuous day. I need more water, and it all adds up. I mean, if you're shooting with like a small Sony A7, you may not have this issue because it is a lot more compact. But for me, Micro Four Thirds, it's got the depth of field, it's got the body stabilisation. I just think it's perfect for hiking. So yeah, in summary, a very good day out, and I do hope you've enjoyed looking at the pictures, and I'll see you again on the next trip.